The political and legal atmosphere in Nigeria has hit a fever pitch this February 2026, and if you have been following the high-stakes saga of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you need to listen very closely because the narrative has shifted in a way no one expected. We are looking at a situation that is sending massive shockwaves through the corridors of power and across the international community. The headline, Victory, Nnamdi Kanu wins, UN orders immediate release, government panics, reflects a mounting pressure that has reached a boiling point just as we enter the second month of 2026. The government, which has held a firm grip on the IPOB leader since his controversial rendition, is now facing a strategic and moral checkmate that is causing visible jitters within the administration. To understand why the government is in a state of panic, we have to look at the explosive development from just a few days ago. On Sunday, February 8, 2026, Nnamdi Kanu pulled off a masterstroke from his detention facility in Sokoto. Through his spokesperson, Emma Powerful, Kanu issued a direct and permanent order for the total cancellation of the Monday sit-at-home order across the southeast. This was a move that no one saw coming with such finality. For 5 years, the sit-at-home order had been the government's primary evidence that Kanu was a threat to economic stability and public order. By unilaterally ending it on February 9, 2026, Kanu has effectively stripped the state of its biggest excuse. He has shown that he is the one with the authentic command to restore peace, while the government's forceful methods had failed for years. This is a massive symbolic victory because it positions Kanu as a statesman, prioritizing the education of children and the livelihood of traders over indefinite friction. The panic is not just local, it is deeply international. While the government secured a conviction in late 2025, the year 2026 has brought a resurgence of global scrutiny. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has never wavered on its stance that Kanu's capture in Kenya was a violation of international law. In recent weeks, international legal journals have begun to highlight that a conviction built on a foundation of extraordinary rendition cannot stand the test of time or international human rights charters. This is the UN order that is haunting the government's diplomatic efforts. Every time a Nigerian official travels abroad in 2026 to seek foreign investment, they are met with questions about the rule of law and the status of the man the UN says should be free. It is a diplomatic nightmare that is making the administration scramble for a face-saving exit. If you find this analysis insightful and you want to stay ahead of the curve on the most important stories in Nigeria, please take a moment to hit that like button right now. It is the best way to support the channel and ensure that the algorithm keeps bringing this vital information to your feed. And if you are not yet a member of our community, click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a beat as this story unfolds further. Your engagement is what keeps us going, so please make sure to join us officially by subscribing today. Adding to the government's headache is the internal rebellion within the Nigerian political class. In late 2025 and leading into this month, a bipartisan group of 44 members of the House of Representatives took the bold step of writing to the president demanding the discontinuance of Kanu's prosecution in the interest of national healing. In February 2026, that letter has become a ticking bomb. With Kanu's recent order of peace in the southeast, these lawmakers now have the moral high ground. They are arguing that if the government truly wants peace, it must meet Kanu's gesture of goodwill with a reciprocal act of amnesty. The panic we see is the government realizing that the Kanu question is no longer just a southeast issue. It has become a national litmus test for justice. The legal battle in 2026 has also taken a dramatic turn regarding Kanu's physical custody. On January 27, 2026, the Federal High Court in Abuja was the scene of a heated session where Kanu sought a transfer from the Sokoto facility back to Abuja to be closer to his legal and medical teams. Although the court struck out the motion on technical grounds following the withdrawal of the Legal Aid Council, the proceedings revealed just how much the government wants to keep him isolated. They moved him to Sokoto specifically to dampen his influence, but as we saw with the February 8th announcement, stone walls have not stopped his voice. This failure to silence him even in a remote facility is exactly why the headline speaks of a government in panic. Their tactics of isolation are simply not working. Furthermore, we are seeing a shift in public perception. For a long time, the narrative was split. But in 2026, even those who disagreed with his methods are beginning to see the legal inconsistency of his continued detention. The international community's insistence on immediate release is based on the principle that you cannot benefit from your own wrong, in this case, the illegal rendition. As this legal truth permeates the Nigerian consciousness, the government finds itself defending an increasingly unpopular and legally shaky position. The victory is the fact that the conversation has moved from "is he a criminal" to "how does the government get out of this legal mess without losing face?" The economic implications are also massive. The Southeast governors have been trying to force markets open for years with threats and military presence, but it was Kanu's single directive on February 8th that finally broke the deadlock. This contrast has embarrassed the political elite. It proves that the people's loyalty remains with the man in the cell, not the men in the government houses. This loss of legitimacy is a major source of the panic we are describing. As we move closer to the 2027 election cycle, which is already being discussed in political circles this year, the ruling party knows that the Kanu factor will determine the fate of the entire region. They are running out of time to play the tough on crime card. I want to hear from you now. Do you believe that Kanu's decision to cancel the sit-at-home is the final key that will unlock his prison door? Does the government have any excuse left to keep him in Sokoto now that he has called for peace and economic revival? Please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We want this to be a place of robust discussion. And once again, if you haven't liked the video or subscribed, please do so now to stay updated on this explosive story. Your support helps us keep digging for the truth. As we look at the coming months of 2026, the pressure is only going to mount. The UN is not going away, the 44 lawmakers are not going away, and Nnamdi Kanu's influence is only growing. The victory mentioned in the headline is the slow but steady collapse of the case against him in the court of public and international opinion. Whether the government panics into a release or continues to double down, one thing is certain: the events of February 2026 have ensured that the status quo is no longer an option. The world is watching Nigeria, and the decision made in the coming weeks will define the country's human rights record for the rest of the decade. We will be here to bring you every update, every court ruling, and every secret move behind the scenes. Stay vigilant and stay informed.